Hi, I'm Amia. All my life, I've been the difficult one in my family because I actually speak up when things aren't right. That label stuck after I moved out of my dad's house at 18 instead of staying under his thumb like my older brother Marcus. You never call anymore, my mom Elena complained over the phone last Tuesday. I called last week, Mom. You just didn't pick up because you were at Dad's poker night. Well, your father misses you. Robert was just saying the other day how the family feels incomplete without you at Sunday dinners. I rolled my eyes so hard I probably strained something. Dad doesn't miss me. He misses having someone to criticize. The truth was, my dad had been poisoning our family dynamics for years. A former military man with outdated views on how men should behave, he'd molded my brother into a mini version of himself. Your brother just bought a new truck, you know. He got that promotion at the construction company. Your father is so proud. Great, good for Marcus. I didn't mention how I knew he'd maxed out 2 credit cards to afford that truck. Information my best friend Tasha had learned from her cousin who worked at the dealership. Speaking of your brother, did you know Jade is pregnant? You're going to be an aunt. My stomach dropped. Jade's pregnant? Since when? About 3 months now. They told us last week. I'd met Jade 2 years ago when Marcus brought her home. Quiet, artistic Jade with kind eyes who flinched whenever someone raised their voice. I'd seen the warning signs from the beginning. How Marcus would correct her in public, check her phone when she wasn't looking, make jokes that made her shrink into herself. How's she doing? I asked carefully. Oh, she's got terrible morning sickness, poor thing. And your brother, well, he's been under a lot of pressure with the baby coming. He had a little episode last weekend. What kind of episode, Mom? He just got a little frustrated when Jade spent too much on baby clothes. You know how he gets when he's stressed? You mean like when he punched a hole in his bedroom wall in high school because his girlfriend talked to another guy? Amia! That was years ago. He's matured. I seriously doubted that. Just last month, Tasha had seen Marcus at a bar downtown, screaming at Jade in the parking lot because she wanted to go home early. Your father wants everyone over for dinner this Saturday to celebrate the pregnancy. He's even grilling those steaks you like. I don't know, Mom. I've got plans with Tasha. Cancel them. This is family. And your father specifically asked for you to be there. That was unusual. Dad specifically asking for me meant something was up. Fine. I'll be there. Wonderful. Oh, and Amia? Try not to start any arguments this time. Your brother's been working so hard to earn your father's approval with this promotion. Let's keep things pleasant. I hung up with a sick feeling in my stomach. If Marcus was trying to earn Dad's approval, that never ended well for anyone around him, especially not for Jade. Saturday arrived, and I pulled up to my parents' suburban house with a knot in my stomach. Tasha had insisted on being my backup. I'm parking around the corner. Text me if things get weird and I'll call with an emergency. You're the best. Inside, the tension was already thick enough to cut with a knife. Jade sat quietly on the couch, her baby bump visible under her flowing top. She gave me a weak smile when I walked in. There she is! The prodigal daughter returns. Dad emerged from the kitchen with a beer in hand. Hi, Robert. I hadn't called him Dad to his face in years. Marcus came in from the backyard, chest puffed out in that way he gets when Dad is around. Hey, sis. Glad you could fit us into your busy schedule. I ignored him and sat next to Jade. How are you feeling? She's fine, Marcus interrupted. Just being dramatic about the morning sickness. I wasn't asking you, I snapped. It's okay, Jade whispered. I'm doing better this week. Dinner was a showcase of Marcus's accomplishments, with Dad beaming proudly as my brother detailed how he'd put that Mexican subcontractor in his place at work. That's how you handle people who don't respect authority. Dad nodded approvingly. Maybe the subcontractor had a valid point, I suggested. There she goes again, Mom sighed. Amia, can we just have a nice dinner? I'm simply suggesting. You're suggesting I don't know how to do my job? Marcus cut in. The conversation shifted to the baby, and Jade mentioned wanting to take some online college courses after the birth. What for? Marcus scoffed. You'll be too busy being a mother. I just thought, we've already discussed this, he said through gritted teeth. Actually, Jade continued quietly, I was looking at programs that the slap happened so fast I almost missed it. Marcus's hand connected with Jade's face with a crack that silenced the room. I said we discussed it, he growled. Dad nodded slightly like he approved of this display of authority. Mom stared at her plate. I was on my feet instantly. What the hell is wrong with you? Stay out of this, Marcus warned. I moved to Jade's side, where a red mark was forming on her cheek. We're leaving, now. She's not going anywhere. Marcus grabbed Jade's arm. Let her go, or I swear to God. Everyone calm down, Mom pleaded. Marcus is just stressed about the baby. Jade, honey, he didn't mean it. Are you kidding me right now? I was shaking with rage. He just hit his pregnant wife. Don't be so dramatic, Dad finally spoke. Sometimes a man needs to establish boundaries. I helped Jade up. We're leaving. If you walk out that door, Dad warned, don't bother coming back. Gladly. I texted Tasha as we headed for the door. This is family business. Marcus blocked our path. You've always been jealous that Dad respects me more. Respect? Is that what you call it? Tasha appeared at the door like a guardian angel. Car's running. You can't take my wife. Marcus lunged forward. Watch me. I pushed past him, supporting Jade as we hurried to Tasha's car. In the back seat, Jade broke down. I can't go back there. You're not going to, I promised, making a decision that would change everything. I'm calling the police. Detective Simmons took our statements at Tasha's apartment that night. Jade's cheek had already started bruising. This isn't the first time, is it? The detective asked gently. Jade stared at the floor. No. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing with texts from Marcus and my parents. Your brother's already called the station, Detective Simmons said. Claims it was a misunderstanding. It wasn't. I showed her the photos I'd taken of Jade's face. After the detective left, promising to follow up, Jade finally opened up. It started about 6 months after we got married. Little things at first. Grabbing my arm too hard, accidentally pushing me. Why didn't you tell me? I asked. He always said no one would believe me, that his family would stand by him. Well, I believe you. The doorbell rang at 7 a.m. the next morning. Tasha peeked through the peephole. It's your dad and brother. I told Jade to stay in the bedroom and opened the door just enough to block the entrance. You've really done it this time, Dad growled. Assault charges? Marcus pushed against the door. For a little slap? You're ruining my life over nothing. A pregnant woman is not nothing, and neither is domestic violence. This family handles its problems internally, Dad said. Call the detective and tell her you made a mistake. Or what? Or you're no longer part of this family. I laughed bitterly. Is that supposed to scare me? Marcus lowered his voice. Drop the charges or I'll make sure you regret it. Are you threatening me? Want to add witness intimidation to your charges? They left, but the pressure campaign was just beginning. Mom showed up at my workplace the next day, causing a scene in the lobby. Your father hasn't slept. How could you do this to your own brother? How could he hit his pregnant wife? How could you defend him? People are asking questions, Amia. The neighbors, our church, everyone's talking. Good. They should know. Detective Simmons called me into the station 3 days later. We found records of 2 previous calls to their address. Jade never pressed charges. She was afraid. We also have text messages from your brother that corroborate the pattern of control and threats. That evening, my entire extended family ambushed me at Tasha's apartment. Aunts, uncles, cousins, all with the same message. Family business stays in the family, Uncle Tim insisted. Jade is exaggerating, Aunt Karen said. Women do that for attention. Did you all see her face? I demanded. Did you see him hit her? We're not saying it was right, Mom pleaded. But prison? A record? That's going too far. So what's your solution? Jade goes back to him so he can hit her again? Maybe next time he'll hurt the baby too. You've always been dramatic, Dad snapped. always thinking you know better than everyone else. If standing against abuse makes me dramatic, then fine. If you go through with this, Dad said slowly, you are dead to this family. No inheritance, no contact, nothing. I looked around at their faces, angry, defensive, enabling, and I knew I was making the right choice. Then I guess I'm dead to you, but at least I can live with myself. The courtroom felt smaller than I expected on the day of Marcus's hearing. Jade sat beside me, 6 months pregnant now and visibly nervous. What if they don't believe me? She whispered. They will. We have evidence. Marcus strutted in with his lawyer, shooting me a glare that could freeze hell. Dad and Mom sat behind him, but surprisingly, not all my family had abandoned me. My cousin Rachel had quietly slipped in beside us. Someone needed to show up on the right side of history, she murmured. Detective Simmons presented the evidence methodically. Photos of Jade's injuries, past police reports, text messages where Marcus had threatened her, and the statements from witnesses at the dinner. The judge leaned forward when the prosecution played my cell phone recording from that night. Marcus's voice clear as day. She's my wife. I'll handle her however I want. Marcus's lawyer tried damage control. My client was under extreme stress. So are lots of people, the judge interrupted. They don't hit pregnant women. When the verdict came, Marcus's face turned ashen. 6 months jail time, 3 years probation, mandatory anger management, and a permanent restraining order. This is your fault, Dad hissed at me as they led Marcus away. You've destroyed this family. No, you did that when you taught him violence was acceptable. The fallout happened faster than I expected. Dad's contracting business took a hit when his business partners saw the headlines. Local contractor's son jailed for domestic violence. Father defended actions. 2 weeks later, Mom called, sounding deflated. Your father's been asked to step down from the Chamber of Commerce board. People are canceling contracts. Actions have consequences, Mom. He didn't do anything wrong. Supporting abuse is wrong. Enabling it is wrong. Jade moved into my spare bedroom and began putting her life back together. We painted the nursery yellow. I got accepted to the online program, she announced one morning, showing me the email. I can start classes after the baby comes. That's amazing. Marcus can't stop you now. 3 months later, little Emma was born, 7 pounds of perfection with Jade's gentle eyes. Mom reached out, asking to see her granddaughter. We met at a neutral coffee shop. Your father would never admit it, but the business is struggling. This whole situation has been hard on everyone. It's been hardest on Jade. Can we move past this? For Emma's sake? We can try, but there are conditions. Dad apologizes to Jade. No contact with Marcus. And you both need to understand that what happened wasn't just a family disagreement. It was a crime. That's asking a lot. So is expecting Jade to pretend nothing happened. 6 months later, Jade graduated from her first semester with straight A's. We celebrated with Tasha and my new boyfriend Kevin, who adored baby Emma. Dad eventually made a stiff, awkward apology. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. Mom became a regular visitor, slowly rebuilding trust. Marcus sent letters from jail that we returned unopened. Do you regret it? Jade asked me one evening as we watched Emma sleeping. Standing up to your family for me? Never. Some people call it family loyalty, but enabling abuse isn't loyalty, it's cowardice. Emma's going to grow up knowing what real strength looks like, thanks to you. Thanks to us? I corrected her. You were brave enough to leave. I just held the door open. What would you do if you had to choose between family loyalty and protecting someone from abuse? Would you stand firm like Amia did, even if it meant losing relationships with other family members? Or do you believe family issues should always be handled privately, no matter what? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective on this difficult situation. If you enjoyed this story about standing up against toxic behavior, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories about overcoming difficult situations. New videos every day.